Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Curtain Steel in Supreme Royal Ultimate. In previous episode we sent our submarines into the Turkish Straits over here, and it's managed to keep all the French vessels away from the Black Sea now. So I don't know if they decided to stop sending in ships again, or if they're just building another wave of units somewhere. Either one is a possibility. Also, there was another coup in Paraguay, I believe. We don't have a lot of money. Do they need any resource per chance? They could use a bit of petroleum. I'm just going to sell them some petroleum for a while. Well, a fairly good price. 8 million lump sum should help them quite a bit. They'll have a steady income of petroleum. Probably not enough for their needs, but still better than nothing. And did we... Oh, right, yeah, we sent the submarine over here, so we've got 5 submarines over there total. Plus another 7 at the Turkish Straits. So yeah, in terms of submarine power, we're not lacking, at least, that's for sure. Question is, do we have any places where we could get sea transit though? Libya, probably not. Unless we start improving their situation. They don't have a lot of coal, but they don't need a lot of coal. They don't have industry. They could use a bit of electricity, but we can't provide that. Consumer goods, maybe we could provide a little bit of consumer goods. Like, just give them like a towel, maybe 500 tons for free. They'll be able to sell that in their domestic markets and get some more money out of it. Plus now they are very friendly towards us, oddly enough. Right, so I wonder, sea transit? Nope, alright. I suppose our treaty integrity is still too bad. It's 46.1, so it's slowly improving again. Well, I mean, it's constantly improving. Especially since we are doing a lot of trade deals over time. Silicon transistors are going to be completed soon, and that's going to unlock a lot of new research. Fiber optics, for example, superconductivity theories, and transistor-based computers. Oh. And that's the thing that we need for the commercial nuclear power. I know that basically in this game, coal power is the cheapest way to get some electricity. Especially like early to mid-game. Late game, like very late game, when you get into like, I don't know, 2050 or somewhere around there, then at that point there might be some other that are cheaper and more beneficial, but at the same time it's still like, that's very far away. Oh, what are we doing? Oh wow, we just sold a massive amount of things. What did we sell? A lot of military goods. Oh, did the price drop there? Or increase, rather. It increased. I mean, we're selling it for a little bit of a deficit, but yeah, that was a lot of cash in there. Just suddenly. There we go, so that should unlock quite a few new research, and all of the things that were unlocked are already underway. Oh, and we're getting the tactical bomber soon enough. It'll be... How much is that? 35 days, okay. Integrate air defenses after that, and then fiber optics. How far are we into the space race? We're still tied up with NASA. Internet race, neither side has gotten anywhere, and of course Man on Mars is still nowhere. It sounds like they are still sending some ships here, because these are still sinking. Oh yeah, oh, that's all 4 of them. You know what, we'll just send in another, all those 3 over there. We'll just bring in the submarines that we have over here. Because I know that we'll be getting more soon enough to sort of guard the entryway into Istanbul. So that way, we can slowly but surely, I mean, technically speaking, what I could do, it would be risky. It would be very risky, in fact. If we were to get, is there any place that I could sort of, ooh, actually. I wonder, Syria, you like me? Could you give me sea transit? Nope. Alright, is there any text that I could sell you, perhaps? For very cheap prices? Iraq, I could probably sell you something as well. Not that Iraq is necessarily going to be that useful for us. Although, I suppose if we get sea transit, we could have ships over here. Not that it would help us right now, but it would sort of provide some other areas to attack from. Lebanon doesn't really like us. Libya does, but I suppose they would still not give me the sea transit. No. Can I get non-aggression pact? Nope. So there's basically nothing in there that we're going to realistically get from them. But 46.3 is currently our treaty integrity. Yeah, that's doing fairly well. Sounds like we sank another one. Just hoping that we can get all of these too. Like, there's one of these 7 submarines that still hasn't gotten the Bronze Star experience. And I'm pretty sure that the higher the experience, the better they'll perform in combat. Not really increasing damage or anything like that, but like, well, actually, I'm not entirely sure if it really does all that much. It just shows you that it does increase the efficiency, I think. Although it might not be large enough to be visible on that difference there. China offering industrial goods for a pretty good price still. We are paying quite a bit overall, but that's fine. I mean, we need the industrial goods to build things and keep our industry running, so I'm okay with that. Still have about 50,000 megawatt hours deficit in the industrial goods, not industrial, electricity. Metal ore we still... Oh, right, the price has dropped to $40. We'll keep it probably there for now. Petroleum is... Oh, hello. Petroleum prices started increasing. Let's go ahead and increase our production capacity there. Let's go for 80% at first. See if that starts dropping the price or not. If it does, then we might need to do a few things. But if it doesn't, then we should be fine to increase it even further. How is the unemployment right now anyway? 3.7, so the inflation is actually dropping. Which is definitely good news for us. Okay, it did drop the price. So we might not be able to make that much more money, but we're still getting some cash out of it. It's not too bad. Oh, actually, the trade's almost... okay, so the deficit right now is not that bad. Not that bad at all. How's the... Just out of curiosity, since we did do the... I mean, it's only October right now. We did do the... Okay, literacy has dropped by 3%. Is the population... Oh, wow, the birth rate has jumped quite a bit higher now. Getting about 1 million per year. Alright, well, in that case, I'm almost tempted to lower the education... funding even further. Let's go to 15 million. It will have some negative effects on other things, but if we can increase the birth rates even further, then I'll take it. Because we need all the population we can get. Plus, if we're going to reduce the daily upkeeps of various other things and the amount of people employed by the public sector, then the more we're going to have working on the industry. And I suppose there's the private sector as a separate entity as well, which is sort of governed by the amount of taxes that you do. We've got pretty good sale, or pretty high sales tax. Getting okay amount of money out of it. It's most of the taxes actually. Another one is the small businesses that get us quite a bit. That's about okay. There's a bit of a difference between the corporate and small businesses. It's not a massive one, but it's there. I might lower the pensioner tax a little bit. I don't think there's going to be all that much money, but it might increase the popularity a little bit. You know, lowering taxes is always nice. Although domestic approval rating, thanks to the reduced upkeep of education, it will probably have a bit of an impact on that. Oh, hello. I can hear bombardment. Is that in Korea? No, I don't think it is. Oh, hello. What are these? This landing craft? Yeah. Okay. So you just landed troops there. Oh, you do you, I suppose. Oh, right. We got some submarines over here and some escorts and all that. Are there landing troops in somewhere in Siberia, perhaps? Nope. Well, the one thing that I should probably do is I should send in some troops into Dalian. We'll do a sea transport in there. Just so that we have some troops defending it, you know. Right, so I can hear the bombardment somewhere. Oh, well, I mean, that was submarines. But there could also be submarines moving through here. Or, like, ships moving through here that we sink with submarines. And also, with the submarines that we have out here, let's just move over there. I'm not entirely sure if we're sinking the stuff over here at the Turkish Straits or somewhere else. Because either one is a possibility. Oh, well, it's definitely in here, at least. Oh, yeah, there's another wave of troops incoming. But yeah, the troops that they're bringing over here, they won't be doing all that much. Like, that's not necessarily a high-value target for me to retake either. There's no supplies in here. Basically, if we just send in a capital ship to bombard the troops into... Well, capital ship and maybe some smaller ships to just bombard the enemy ships in there. Got some escorts and patrol boats in here. Do we have any more? Oh, that's a lot of patrol boats in here. Okay, you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to switch the production from the anti-sub patrol. I mean, we got one of those already underway. Maybe we'll put in another escort to be built. That's got pretty good damage as well. Although, is it... Well, it's a little bit smaller than that, and that has definitely a longer bombardment range on surface targets, so we'll put in another one there, so the patrol boats are going to be produced a little bit less. Sweden's still buying some petroleum for us, which is quite nice. Treaty integrity is already 46.5. So slowly but surely, we are improving it. So now there's Italian merchant marine going through here. Don't know where they plan on going to. But they're trying, and what do we have here? Whose troops are these? Azerbaijan. Ah, I see. Well, I mean, I suppose you do you. Right, let's go ahead and do some more trade deals. Especially the medicine in China and India. I suppose we can't get all of that done, but all sold. But yeah, if you can get a bit more, especially population growth in both India and China, those are going to be good markets for us to sell things into. Not necessarily everything, but certain things. It looks like the petroleum price has indeed dropped to the 7% again. Not 7%, $7 per barrel. Inflation is down to 7.1%, so that's definitely improvement there. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Why are you sending things into here? Of all places. Right, so is that where the bombardment was going? Oh, I see. Bring the escort over there just in case. Now, we do have quite a bit of troops waiting in here, so I think this is where they're going to be. Oh, yeah, it is some submarines going through here, isn't it? Not submarines, but some ships going through here, and the submarines are shooting them. Okay, so they are trying to get into the Baltic Sea, basically. Oh, right. They're probably using the Swedish territory right now to sort of skirt past the submarines in here. But they won't be able to skirt through here beyond me. But at least that's positive thing, I suppose. Go ahead and send one of the patrol boats in there, so we'll still protect Tallinn as well. If we had some ships over here, we could blockade this bay as well pretty quickly. Also, I wanted to buy some timber. I mean, that's fine by me. Let's actually have a look. How much do we have? We've got probably quite a bit of timber still. We've got plenty of agriculture. Is there anyone willing to import agriculture? I mean, UK is, I suppose technically we are importing a lot as well. Japan might be an option. I don't know how much they'll pay for it, but we could certainly try selling some. So 90 days. Let's say they're buying 60,000 per day right now, aren't they? So if we sell them 40,000 a day, that's a total of actually quite a bit, isn't it? 40,000, we're buying quite a bit as well. So yeah, if we put in that, how much are we willing to offer? 150 million, so that's actually more than its value. If they do take that, that's actually going to be good for the treaty integrity, good for our money as well. At least momentarily. Oh, and what did we research? Ah, that was the unit design completed. Right. Now we've got the superconductivity theories. What does that lead to? Magnetometers. Well, it needs some other things to reach there. Right, so the integrated air defenses, that's going to still take some time. We've still got pretty high funding on the research side of things. But the surplus deficit per day when you factor in the daily trade is actually not bad anymore. It's about 9 million or 8 million, somewhere around there. Less than a 10. And yes, Japan did actually accept the trade deal, so how is the... Yeah, it's 46.7, so I think it's pretty much every single resource trade that you do increases your relations. So let's have a... Well, maybe don't trade with Taiwan, just in case. Is there anything that China needs? Ooh, they could use a bit more metal ore. Well, luckily I'm someone that could provide you some... Actually, how much... Before we do that... Metal ore... So importers, China is one of the biggest ones. They need about 12,000, so let's say we start selling 10,000 to them. On a daily basis for 90 days. Well, we'll put in 14,000. That'll be fine. That'll allow them to run their economy a little bit better. And then I suppose China, we've already had a look at your... Not China, India. We've had a look at your things. You might perhaps need some timber, actually. Before we do that, let's have a look. How much do they need timber? A lot, actually. How much do we have production of timber? Plenty. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll start selling about 50 tons per day. So there we go. That's 2 trade deals. And just to confirm, or... Yeah, it's 46.7. I don't know if it went up by... Well, it went up at least 0.1 in there. I'm pretty sure about that. I don't remember if it was 0.5 or 0.6 after the Japan trade deal. But yeah, we should probably start figuring out some other nations to trade with as well. I mean, what about Mexico? What do you need? You don't need agriculture, you don't need rubber either, oddly enough, or timber, or petroleum. You could use a bit of coal. You don't need it badly, but you could use a little bit. I don't know the numbers, though. It's a shame that you can't see the numbers in here. But if you do go around elsewhere, for example, over here, we can see... Presumably, Mexico is one of the bigger or some of the importers in here, at least. Or maybe they're not importing because they got enough stockpiled. That could be the case. Oh, Japan doesn't produce any. They need at least 50,000. Okay. Well, Japan, how about we sell you some coal? Now, I'm technically funding one of my enemies here right now. I suppose they're funding me. Oh, that's still lump sum. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's how the sort of best offer operates. You get the money immediately. There we go. So they did start buying that. So how much is it now? Is it... no, it hasn't actually gone up. Oh yeah, there's a lot of ships just trying to move in here, and it's not even the French ships, it's just some random NATO-aligned nations. Well, I mean, it's target practice, that's for sure. And we could move these forward. I suppose we could technically have the transport ships stay behind, so we can start loading that with troops eventually. But how many have I destroyed, or how many units have we destroyed thus far? 1,500. Alright. We've got a total losses of about 25,000 still, so that hasn't increased for us. France has lost already over 200,000 men. And a total units of 1,300. Alright, how many... If we have a look at the units lost, then we are currently number 4 of the nations that are still alive. Belgium has lost 21 already. Vietnam lost 25. UK hasn't lost any new ones. Italy has lost, I think, a little bit. The Dutch have lost a little bit, okay. But overall, these should be able to sink... Oh, yeah, there's another Belgian ship. Oh no, that's escort, so they won't be able to send that in. The transports are a different thing, though. They can send those. I mean, they shouldn't send those necessarily, but they can. Right, how's our unemployment now? It's 38%. Inflation is 6.9%. And dropping, hopefully. Oh, wow. Starting to get a bit of infantry in here. I don't know how good these are in actual combat, though. Like, they go okay stats, I suppose. But they're not particularly impressive. I'm sort of hoping that we could improve our relations enough with, say, Syria, for example. They could use a bit of metal ore. Well, luckily there's someone in the neighborhood that is in the business of selling some metal ore. They don't want to pay a lot because they don't have a lot. But again, that might be just about enough to improve the treaty integrity. Yeah, it's now 46.8. Now, I'm pretty sure that there is some passive increase there as well. It's not only from the trade deals, but I think when you do trade deals, it will increase faster. And we've been doing a decent bit of it right now. How is the... I mean, I suppose these research centers are going to take a while. Yeah, it's 500 days. Technically speaking, we could move this one to help with the construction. It's going to mean that we'll use a lot more industrial goods for a while, which is going to be more expensive for us to buy them, but I think it's going to be fine. If we can get those researches going faster, we can start researching a bit more of the unit types as well. I don't think we've unlocked all... Well, I suppose there is the T10M heavy tank, which I believe does have a bit better stats than the old one. We put that one in the research queue. And then there might be a few other things like anti-tank. There is... well, there's some guns in here, I suppose. What about artillery? I mean, there is the missile launch system. There is some howitzers in here, but they don't have long enough range for my taste. Like, I want them to have the 40-kilometer range at least. Because they don't need that high. Does Iran need anything? I know that they like me. Could we perhaps... well, I don't think we can get any trade deals with them. They don't need coal, petroleum, they don't need timber, rubber. What about agriculture? Nope. It's just the consumer goods, basically, that they need, for the most part. We just don't have the production for it quite yet. But I suppose once we start getting a bit more power production, which I'm not entirely sure if we can do that easily. I mean, the question is, well, it's 3.8% unemployment now, so let's go ahead and get one coal power plant here somewhere. We've already filled these 4 up with power. There's actually some petroleum power over here. Let's get another one over there. Because we've got plenty of coal production still. Although the production cost is relatively high. And we're not really selling a lot, are we? Let's increase this price to 4. It might... well, I don't think we are that high in the exporters of coal anyway. Yeah, no, USA is the biggest one there. Then Ukraine is actually one of the bigger ones. I suppose we're buying a lot from Ukraine, aren't we? Right, let's have a look at the... since we wanted to have a look at... so the literacy has dropped from the 87% it was before we lowered the education down to 82%. The birth rate has increased massively. Of course, death rate has also increased a little bit there. The immigration and immigration are still somewhat similar to what they were before those changes. Like, not massive changes in there, so it's still about 630,000 difference in the immigration. And then in the birth rates, there's about 1.8 million. So yeah, it's 1.2 million extra population per year, roughly. So we should be able to hit 1.7 very shortly. Actually, it's going to be in a matter of days right now. Right, and the entryway into... oh wow, yeah, there's... that almost gotten a level as well. Have we gotten any more submarines in here that we could maybe use to sink things? I think this is the best location to keep our ships right now in, though. Because anything that is trying to get through, or is trying to land in here, they need to enter into my territory first, and that's when they enter into the submarines' range. But that kind of explains why we didn't sink them beforehand in here, because they were transports from other nations than France. But yeah, we need to get the coal power. I do wonder, though, how much is one of the coal power plants, again, in terms of production? So that is max possible output per year. That would be about 2,000 megawatt hours per day, I suppose. It's not massive, but I suppose it's decent. But yeah, we need a lot more power production then, I suppose. Unemployment hasn't really changed that much, although the inflation has... it's 6.6% right now, so maybe we are getting some advancements in there. But yeah, so far the war situation is quite peaceful. Now, eventually, well, I mean, that's going to be a long while away, but eventually we will unlock the better production facilities for the consumer goods and all that. And for some reason, there is some sort of error in the production value, or the modifiers in there, which means that the, like the advanced consumer goods production facility is just extremely efficient in terms of, like, the production cost. Like, it costs... I think only 1% of what it should be costing in terms of industrial goods to produce it, and then it's fairly good at outputting things. So I don't know if we'll be... I mean, first of all, I don't know if we'll be reaching that far in this game anyway. We might. But it's still relatively far away, if I remember correctly. Now, I don't remember all of the tech tree as such, because it's... but I suppose there are some tools online that show you the tech tree, but it's not easily visible within the game on how the tree is. So you can just see individual branches, like a little bit at a time. Right, well, we have some submarines over here. Let's just, out of curiosity, send them to be around Singapore. See if there is actually any traffic through there. There might not be. Also, are these Polish? I think they are. Alright. I wonder though, what does Indonesia require? Other than goods, I suppose. And electricity. Definitely not petroleum or timber. We could use rubber. We were already selling the rubber and then they got some agriculture. So not that massive amount of things. There we go. We got 107 million in terms of population. We started at 105. We've grown at least a little bit, but it's already 5 years into the game. So the speeds haven't been that massive. I think what we need to start thinking is how to do the landing in France so that we can end the war. It's not going to end the war, it's going to start only spread the war. But I suppose, how much do the French still have military? It's about 1 million. I think they started at 1 million. So they haven't necessarily increased that much. I think most of the troops that they get, they're sending out. Of course, they got some garrisons, no doubt, in Calais and Dunkirk. And that could be possibly a problem. You know what? We got the submarines over here. What we shall do is we shall send them over this way, just to scout up a little bit, see what's happening. Greece and Canada have formed an alliance, alright. Not entirely surprised by that. Yeah, the air defense is going to be done fairly shortly. And I suppose we could sell some more techs. That's an easy way to get some money. We are running a bit of a deficit right now. Give them the sulfur trucks to India. Now the question is, was the submarines over here that sank the thing, or was it somewhere else? It could also be the submarines over here, I suppose. These are already running a little bit low on things. And that seems to be an Indian... No, that is actually a Polish escort in here. Not... Oh, hello. That was a battleship. Was it a battleship? Yeah. No, I think it's an escort, actually. Yeah, it's an escort. Right, we might need to get some better submarines in there to utilize that area slightly better. I mean, suppose we've got some submarines being made here, don't we? Oh, that's another patrol boat. We've got way too many patrol boats in here. And then we've got these two submarines guarding the entryway into Arkhangelsk. I don't know why they got all these troops in here. I guess it's better not to question it. The more troops they have there, I mean, on the elimination of the nation, those troops will be gone anyway. Oh, there we go. Air defense sites, we could start researching that. Those will be very useful in... especially in places like... well, if we take Paris and we end up in a war against the British, then putting out some air defense areas over here will be very crucial in shooting down the enemy planes. Right, so if we all look at the provocation, and, well, I suppose casus belli rather. So, Netherlands and US are the top ones in there. Then Turkey is still relatively high, but that is slowly dropping. And then let's have a look at the provocation. There's a lot of nations. How many nations are there that are not going to be attacking us? Well, there's the new dictatorships. There's Chile, North Vietnam, India. Even Iran is very unlikely. Ceylon is very unlikely. Salvador, okay, so Ecuador is starting to be on the point where it's somewhat likely that they would attack me at some point. It's not guaranteed, of course, but they could. Hello, I hear some combat. Why are you bringing ships here? Especially since once they sort of land, they just disappear anyway. Alright, well, I mean, I suppose I got some tanks over here that I could bring in there. If that's what they wish to do, then I suppose we shall help them a little bit. Drop a couple of ships over there, and we got an escort and a submarine. Oh, right, where did we put in the submarines? Did we move them already into the entryway? We did. That's got to be submarine number 6 for that group. I suppose I could do is I could move in this group into taking the sort of experience, and these could be moved up a little bit. I can use the Turkish waters to resupply. Right, I didn't realise that for some reason. But we are unfortunately out of time, so we shall use that information in the next episode. But if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, get the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.